Welcome to another episode of I Know Jax. I'm Joe Talentino. Today I want to talk about something kids of all ages love to talk about. Dinosaurs. I still don't really understand what it is about dinosaurs that we love so much. They can be gigantic, scary looking, and vicious. And when my son was little, he loved dinosaurs. He had a big picture book that he would drool over, and of course little plastic dinosaurs to play with. And when he started school and learned to read, he learned everything there was to know about dinosaurs. Every conversation we had started with, "Dad, did you know that the T-Rex dinosaur weighs 50 million pounds?" or something like that. I'm not the only one who realized that kids and adults are fascinated by these creatures. Spielberg did too, and this weekend the newest Jurassic Park adventure comes to the big screen. Recently I visited Mosh because they have an amazing exhibit called Dinosaurs Unearthed. I came down to Mosh to check out their latest exhibit, Dinosaurs Unearthed.
Dinosaurs Unearthed is a new exhibit that just opened. It'll be here through Labor Day, and it's just the summer of dinosaurs here at Mosh. We have more than a dozen roaring, moving, animatronic dinosaurs, and it's just already been a hit with families.
Can you tell me what it is that kids can do?
Yes, they can walk around and see all the dinosaurs. One of the really cool things about this exhibit, as opposed to past exhibits we've had, is that it explores new discoveries. So for instance, you'll walk away, even the adults who come, learning about something new that they never knew before, like we have feathered dinosaurs. People love dinosaurs, and Mosh is certainly iconic with dinosaurs. We've hosted a number of dinosaur exhibits over the years, but this one is the largest models that we've ever hosted, and like I said, the new discoveries. We've never had the dinosaurs with feathers before, and as you probably noticed when you walked in outside, we have a huge 39-foot T-Rex outside on our front lawn, ready to greet all the visitors that are coming to see the exhibit.
And it moves.
It moves and it roars, and we hear it. In addition to just the exhibit components, we have lots of interactive kiosks kids can touch, make a dinosaur move. There's a dig pit for aspiring paleontologists. They can dig around and unearth some bones, but we also have a whole summer of programs. We have a camp-in for families. It's called Dozing with Dinos, so they actually get to come to the museum, spend the night, and actually sleep within the dinosaur exhibit. And we do turn the sound off, just FYI.
I was wondering, because it can be kind of difficult.
Yes.
I could have stayed there all day pushing buttons and making those things move. It was pretty fun. Anyway, the other day I read an article about how kids can lose knowledge over the summer. It's called summer learning loss, and it's actually a real problem, especially for low-income students. And it's of course not only reading skills that suffer. So if you have young kids in your neighborhood, take them to Mosh for some fun summer learning. Next, we're going to do more learning, but this one is more for adults. Chris Chislett, our in-house sommelier or wine expert, aka wine snob, is a funny guy. Last week, we were trying to open wine bottles without a corkscrew using, get this, a blowtorch, a shoe, and a bike pump. Now, if you missed it, go to iknowjax.com and check out last week's episode. You really don't want to miss that one. It's funny, even if I do say so myself. This week, we're checking out a wine with a local tie. Today I'm here with my buddy Chris Chislett, the wine guy, and we're going to review this really special wine.
It's really special wine, yes, because you forgot what it was, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, I did too, actually. This is
Shooting
the
Star.
Yeah, Jed Steele's Shooting Star. This is kind of an unusual one.
Is it like the song?
You're always what? Go on. What song is that?
You don't know Shooting
You're
Star?
always dating yourself.
Bad Company?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
It's a great song, by the way.
I don't care, to be honest.
Youngsters these days. It wasn't done in Lodi, and it has no connection to the wine. But
True, but talk about it anyway.
Anyway, sure.
Yeah, all right. So, Jed Steele is the
Steele.
winemaker. Shooting Star. Aligote is the grape.
Okay.
Very little known grape. Very little known grape, but actually fourth most widely planted grape in the world, believe it or not.
So why does nobody know about it if it's the
Crazy, right?
It is weird.
They blend it. They use it.
Aligote?
Aligote. Aligote. Aligote.
Okay.
But it's French, so
Sure.
that was a terrible
That's
French
it.
accent.
That
No,
was. Yeah, you did
went,
that badly.
I went Spanish. I went Spanish Jamaican. Aligote.
Okay. Back to Jed Steele.
Yeah, I don't. There we go. So Aligote, yeah, is the grape. Second most widely planted grape in the Burgundy region. So
Okay.
Burgundy, main grape, Chardonnay.
Sure,
Right?
if you said so.
Yeah, it is.
I would have said Burgundy, but I don't know anything.
Well, that's drinking the Franzia.
Yeah?
I see.
Huh? See what I did?
Yeah, clever.
Gotcha.
So second most widely planted grape in the Burgundy region of France. But yeah, they tend to use Aligote as either they make bulk wine with it, or they use it for white blends a lot. So what they're doing with the Shooting Star line is Jed Steele, as the winemaker, is taking these kind of lesser known grapes and making an effort to kind of bring them into the.
So he's making a statement with a lesser known grape.
Yeah. Actually, not just using it obviously for bulk wine. It's a really good
So
quality
he's
wine, but yeah, so
highlighting it on its own.
Exactly. So he does this. He does a couple of others. He makes one with like Blaufränkisch, which is a German Austrian. Yeah, red wine. It's just as fun.
Sounds
to say,
like a Marvel
Blaufränkisch.
comic bad guy.
Yeah, exactly. That would be a Blaufränkisch.
Blaufränkisch. Well,
Yeah.
Jed Steele sounds like a Marvel superhero.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
I'm a porn star.
Just exactly. There's that one.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't see this now.
Who cares? I really don't.
So yeah, we should
paid
probably.
for this?
Well, yeah, we did actually. I did actually buy that. That's fair enough. $16.99.
Okay, there you go. And it's white.
It is white. Well done. Kind of similar to Chardonnay. You get that apple, pear, creamy texture, a little bit of
It's
vanilla.
tasty.
Yeah, fairly smooth.
Yeah.
Not too.
Not too citrusy.
Yeah, the thing with Aligote is it's really resistant to like winter frosts. So this winery is actually getting these grapes from Washington State.
Oh, so further
So
north.
a lot
Okay,
of
gotcha.
a lot of cold, harsh winters. So Aligote itself is really resistant to those kind of frosts. So when other grapevines are not producing as much or dying or whatever,
That one's-
Aligote is really frost resistant. So
Cool.
that it does really well in kind of colder climates. But yeah, I like this. It's not not too heavy, not as big and heavy, just as a straightforward Chardonnay. But
I'm going to say this.
go on.
It, to me,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't live up to the porn star Marvel comic Jed Steele name.
Well, what would you expect?
I don't know,
What
just
would you
badass.
your head just
Just-
explodes
it was just gonna
on
have to
taking
be
the first
badass.
sip? Right.
It's pretty awesome. But
Sorry,
it's just,
Jed. I'm really sorry.
That's it. Till next time. You probably already know this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. If you happen to miss an episode, you can watch it online. You'll find the latest episode on our website at iknowjacks.com, and that's also where you can find my short daily videos. This week I was at V Pizza in San Marco for a foodie adventure with jacksrestaurantreviews.com. We had some awesome food, and I had a lot of fun with some new friends. Stephanie and the gang, you know what I'm talking about. I'm really looking forward to our next foodie adventure. We have partnered with the guys from Jack's Restaurant Reviews, so we do these events pretty frequently. Our next foodie adventure is a vegan dinner at Uptown Market. And the last vegan dinner I went to was awesome. And I say that even though I love eating steak. So I'm really looking forward to that one. Then in July, we have another one at 904 Restaurant in Atlantic Beach. That's one of my favorite new hangouts too, and I'm sure it's gonna sell out soon. When I say Australia, what comes to mind? I guess you'd say kangaroos, the outback, Crocodile Dundee, Nicole Kidman, and maybe even rugby. Now, it's amazing how big the sport of rugby really is when you look outside the U.S. It's huge, and it's really not that surprising because it's a very cool spectator sport. I don't know about playing it though. It's a super tough game. We have our own pro team here in Jacksonville, the Jacksonville Axemen, and I met up with their new head coach. I'm here with Axemen coach Wayne Forbes to talk about rugby in the United States. Tell me, this is your first year in the States, right? As a coach. Tell me what your experience is seeing the players when you came over. Were you just shocked?
At first, it was a bit of a shock, but I've come from a pretty high level coaching back home in Australia. So to see how raw the game is, yes, was a bit of a shock, but the potential there is enormous. So I can see that the more development, the more education we get out there, the more love for the game from the Americans.
Yeah, absolutely. So you see lots of talent. I mean, is there,
Yeah.
when it comes to like American football players playing rugby, do you see a lot of that? Does that help or hurt?
And being an athlete obviously is a criteria that you need to have, but there's also, with rugby league, it's more about the catching and passing skills, which is not necessarily in NFL as much.
Right.
But yeah, there's certainly
So we
great
need
athletes.
basketball players instead.
Bit of a combination of all. But yeah, rugby league over here would take anyone that's keen to come and play and try the game out. They're always welcomed.
Cool. When you're looking for athletes, what is it exactly you're looking for?
There's the speed, the power, the aggression. Aggression is a big thing in rugby league. Rugby league's known around the world as being probably the toughest contact sport. Mm-hmm. So they've got to have that courage and that mental toughness.
Yeah, we're going to say courage. My first introduction to it, I remember hearing the hits, and then it took me a few minutes to realize, oh yeah, this isn't American football. They don't have pads on, and I could hear the hits.
That's it, and that's why so many people love it, is that contact. It's if you can sort of visualize it, you got one bloke with a ball running into a brick wall of guys that just want to take your head off.
Right.
They want to hurt you as much as they can.
Yeah, sure.
So,
and hold you down.
Yeah, hold you down, and that's where the courage side comes of it. So you got
Absolutely.
because you could do that up to 20, 30 times a game. So you can't just do it once and then come off. You've got to continually run at that brick wall.
Well, the thing that I noticed about rugby that seems definitely is different than American football. Like American football, you look to make contact.
Yes.
And you guys do things to avoid contact.
Yeah.
As much as possible to a certain point.
Yes, we do.
Because the angles, you guys work some wild angles.
And there's a lot more than just running up and getting bashed over it. There's, although it's pretty exciting, but there's a lot more tactical and technical aspects of the game that that make it a bit more.
They're almost wrestling moves and stuff in the tackles and stuff.
Back home, we actually employ wrestling coaches.
Okay.
To come and make sure that we.
So I'm not just crazy.
No. We want to slow the game. When you're defending, you want to slow the attackers down so your team can get enough time to reload so they can defend again. So you have to have those wrestle moves in there and try and win the ground, as we call it.
Right, cool. Now, besides working as the coach for the Axemen, do you have other obligations or duties?
Not while I'm over here, no, just to enjoy
Awesome.
Jacksonville, which I have been doing, which is great. But we're training probably 4 nights a week at the moment.
Awesome.
Plus we have a recovery session on Sunday after the game. Plus if we play on a Saturday, that really leaves Monday.
Right.
We're not doing anything, so it's...
Now, one day off, that's it.
1 day off, yep.
That's a recovery day for sure. The next home game for the Axemen takes place on June 20th when they take on the Tampa Mayhem.
We'd like to welcome you to the Worship Center here at 2669 Edison Avenue. I'm here with Pastor Dinkins, and we're here to celebrate our partnership with Feeding America, and they're bringing Billy Herschel in for a day to help us with our food.
This Friday's food pantry was extra special when Billy Herschel, a PGA golf pro, and Feeding America showed up to help out the volunteers.
I'm doing this because I want to help the community. I want to help all these people and families and kids that are food insecure. Time to unload. Let's do this.
Hunger is a serious problem in our nation. 1 out of 6 adults in Northeast Florida goes hungry, and 1 out of 4 children need your help now. 30,000 pounds of food, including 2,000 pounds from 2 Winn-Dixie locations, were distributed on this fine day. Today they fed over 800 people in Jacksonville. This was made possible with the help from Billy Herschel, the PGA Tour, the Worship Center, and Feeding America.
I'm State Representative Mia Jones, and I have the pleasure of being able to be here today on behalf of Mayor Alvin Brown to present a proclamation recognizing the work of the Worship Center and Billy right here in our own communities. There are families who are suffering and who are having to figure out what they can do as it relates to feeding their families. Today in Jacksonville, Billy Herschel Drive Out Hunger Day. So today we thank you and know that in Northeast Florida today is your day.
Yeah. Also with that, I have a check for Feeding Northeast Florida for $46,043 for one day to drive out hunger on May 29th.
All right.
That's it for this time. I'll be back with another awesome episode of I Know Jax on Saturday at 9:30 p.m., 12:30 a.m., or Sunday at 6 p.m. But before then, I'm sure I'll see you on the internet.